You know that
Or
in
just
Chandni Chowk, those, you know, the mithai ka wo
Jalebi.
रबड़ी करते ना, वो
किधर खर्च रहे हैं 1,000 रुपए पेट पे उगते, which is why I'm happy that you guys are paying for this.
It was 3,000 rupees
This was
cheaper.
6,000 rupees, Janvi. That was 12,000. That's half.
Wow, बहुत पैसे बचा लिए.
And
I've been wondering about the machinery around public perception around celebrities for quite some time, especially in the age of social media, where the investment made in creating an idea about the persona playing fictional characters for work has become even more rampant. No matter how mature we as an audience may have become about separating the art from the artist, there is a huge impact on film business dependent on how the actors conduct themselves off camera. If you just look at the way Amir Khan is scrutinized for his interviews, the age of social media and news channels almost make it a point to absolutely nullify all the goodwill that he has developed over the years with countless memorable films. You look at the detrimental effects of this saturation of appearances in regards to Ranveer Singh just a few months ago, accepting every random award as if it really had any validity to his art form. So I wondered about how much of the personality created outside of their film roles is actually carefully curated and actually performative versus being genuine. It made me think about a popular actor like Jennifer Lawrence and how she became the endearing personality with abundant talent by playing up the "I'm just a regular girl" trope in every interview she gave. This came as a breath of fresh air for audiences as Lawrence was not the distant, unrelatable and snooty actress but extremely approachable, wacky and familiar. This, however, became exhausting after a point as Lawrence constantly put up the "I am just like you guys" act in interviews while having become a Hollywood superstar. What was once endearing and refreshing transitioned to come across as a forced attempt to be relatable, and one wondered why everyone right now is attempting to do the same thing here in India. I was watching an interview of a content creator, Karishma Mehta, who manages Humans of Bombay, who was hell-bent in proving to the internet that labelled her privileged and born with a silver spoon that she was self-made. That her business started with a mere 1 lakh loan from her parents, but this never-ending cycle of people in their privileged bubbles wanting their own pity party is a futile battle, because one fails to acknowledge how tone-deaf the statements are. When you look at the industry specifically, the term self-made is flung around pretty casually, but it's important to acknowledge that there are tiers to how tough it is for anyone to get a break versus others. If you look at outsiders specifically, Shah Rukh Khan comes from a well-educated background of St. Columbus and Hansraj College, well-versed with his surroundings as he gets that push in his formative years. You on the flip side see Rajnikant's journey. After his school education, the superstar did several blue-collar jobs including being a coolie, a bus conductor and finally chancing upon the Madras Film Institute due to his love for acting in plays. The concept of self-made also has its tiers, but nothing gets more exhausting than one constantly trying to prove that they've had it tougher than the rest. In a recent interview for Vogue India, Sara Ali Khan spoke about how she does not own a single designer clothing in her wardrobe. And while this may be true, it made me wonder about how much of these statements are a careful and deliberate attempt by the actors and their team just to come across as one with the people. Whether it be the love for street food, the aversion towards expensive things, being a miser with their own money, all of this in many interviews came across initially as refreshing and admirable. This is especially true for Sara Ali Khan's interviews during her debut, where one considered her to have a good head over her shoulders and extremely well versed with the Indian culture and customs despite having grown up in a privileged bubble. This slowly transitioned to an online personality that became heavily curated to deliver PJs, appear nonchalant and approachable, quite the antithesis of the circles one is born and brought up in. The acting performances were not matching up to the popularity of this online personality that was carefully developed, and if one thing is true for the Indian audience, it is they are ruthless if the acting talent is subpar at best. The off-screen persona became immaterial if the job you are here to do is not polished or worked at. This made me think, is there more of a careful deliberation towards creating a perfect persona off camera versus genuinely working towards enhancing the craft that you have been hired to do? If there is one thing, however, that I'm totally against is the dissection in assuming that there might be ill intent towards practicing faith. So whether it be visiting temples or the dargah, I think it becomes extremely ugly when one seems to extract an ulterior motive as one simply goes to pay respect to God. So whether it be Sara going to Kedarnath or Janvi going to Tirupati, the criticism flung towards them for simply practicing one's faith is simply something that I don't agree with. I think one needs to acknowledge and accept the stance taken by Ricky Gervais as he hosted the Golden Globes. The actors live in their privileged and secure bubbles, and their existence is a dichotomy in itself. One will be encouraged to state that they are environment friendly but will regularly take private jets. They will be in strict regimental diets but will advertise packaged food or harmful products. So one should take everything that is stated by actors with a pinch of salt, because why are we seeking for the truth from celebrities who are paid to play fictional roles rather than our own elected leaders? I think the best stance taken by actors is to acknowledge their privileged bubble, stop constantly romanticizing how they love to eat papdi chaat in the streets like any regular folk, and really work towards enhancing one's craft. Essentially why you joined the industry in the first place. While there is validity to the argument that a sense of mystery is completely gone in the age of social media for actors when they have to play both influencer and artist, but I think those that prioritize the craft versus playing the public perception long haul game will win in the long run. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you think about this false public perception and PR stunts that are followed by celebrities. Do you think there is a conscious attempt by celebrities in order to come across as relatable? Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.